Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first match of the weekend for the Osumania 7-Key World Cup 2024 quarterfinals stage. We've got our number 2 seed China versus our number 7 seed Canada. For a wonderful start to this weekend, my name's Toph Daddy. I'll be one of your commentators, joined here by Raviel. How's it going?
Yeah, we're doing good. We have a very stacked quarterfinals this time around. China versus Canada, like you mentioned. China will be looking to continue their dominant start against tougher opposition this time, with Satori leading overall performance score above anyone else in the round of 16. Whereas Canada will be looking to depend on their best performer Dale to try and cause an upset today, but of course supported by their teammates to hopefully nick a few points. But this is going to be a very difficult match for Canada, and for China, at least on paper, this should be a 5-0, 5-1, 6-0, 6-1, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, they're the number 2 seed. They were very, very much like... I think when we saw the qualifier results, it was like far and away the top 2, top 3 kind of got away from everyone else, and China being in that squad definitely is going to be a little bit of an intimidating figure for Canada here. Though, like you said, Dale, on the Canadian side, top performer for Canada, on top of having an incredible long note performer on Mr. Mu. So definitely a little bit of that balance on the Canadian side, and I don't think China's going to feel super comfortable picking really anything into this Canadian roster.
Something that's very interesting to point out is that Canada got the first Protect, and it's immediately the coordination release pick of LN1. For China, they upped the Hybrid 1.
Ban on Rice 1. That's actually fascinating. I'm kind of interested to see that if Canada protected one of the long note picks, China protected Hybrid 1 there. So we've got a long note and a hybrid protect, and then a Rice ban from China. Canada's got a ban now. I imagine another Rice ban's coming out, and it is. Yeah. We're getting rid of the accuracy technical pick of Rice 5 breaking and entering. So we got 2 Rice picks gone. It looks like both of these teams might be like leaning towards that long note hybrid side of thing, which I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the strategies on each side. Canada definitely needs to lean into their like biggest strengths, being like underdogs in this scenario. But China not wanting to go the Rice direction, despite Canada maybe showing a little bit of discomfort, might bite them a little bit, even with the advantage that they have.
Yeah, in terms of the qualifier results, Canada are the closest to China in terms of Stage 3, which was the hybrid, and Stage 4, which was the LN coordination release, hence the LN1 Protect. But for China, like, the biggest deviation is Chord Stream, Stage 6. China were 4th and Canada were 13th. So China would like to maybe exploit some Chord Stream, but Canada immediately going for LN1.
Yeah, LN1 coming out, not surprising. Protect coming out right away from Canada. Want to get something on the board here. And like you said, that Chord Stream kind of advantage from China, I'd almost expect Rice 2, Rice 3 kind of to get taken off the board pretty early. Maybe Rice 6 after that. But if China's protecting the hybrids, I'm not fully certain of what their strategy is going to be in the end. But we're getting through this pretty fast. We've already got some good luck, have funs from the players as we get into map number 1 of a possible 11 in this first to 6 round, as opposed to first to 5 that we were seeing in the first 2 rounds of this tournament.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Mr. Mu being an LN specialist for Canada. Well, they're now in the lobby, and let's see if Canada could try and start off strong.
Absolutely, though early on, everyone kind of holding on these long notes, not really getting into the heavier releases. Mr. Mu actually having the lowest accuracy, dropping a couple of those releases right at the beginning, but everyone else kind of staying around. Nunatubu Shinobu actually kind of eclipsing both of the Chinese players and keeping Canada with a very slight lead going into the first quarter.
Yeah, China is actually slowly tanking accuracy. Now both players on the Chinese side matching Mr. Mu's accuracy. Nunotawa just leading the way in the lobby, and Canada have a very small cushion. Something to point out about this map is that the first half and the second half are identical, so something to keep note for these players when the second half does come around.
Yeah, assuming no tragedy happens for this first half. I mean, Satori, we just saw miss. Unlike Satori, like you said, number one performer, I think maybe between all teams, but finding that miss there and 2 full combos to 1, Canada favored. Nunutubu and Mr. Mu actually having almost identical accuracy. Turks slightly behind, and Satori, of course, with the miss there. With a 13,000 point lead for Canada as we have the second half, which, like you said, just a repeat section. So as long as things go well, this is looking good to give Canada the opening point in this match.
This is definitely looking really, really good for a Seed 7 versus a Seed 2, them having a 14,000 point lead at this stage of the map. And both players still holding on to FCs, both players still holding on to the best accuracies of the lobby as well. Satori is the biggest struggler, actually, so this is looking really good.
Yeah, and both Canadian players staying above the accuracy of Turks, the higher of the two Chinese players. As we hit the final portions of this map, still double full combo for Canada, and that lead is continuing to increase as Satori struggles to increase that accuracy, staying pretty consistently around that low 99%. And it looks like Canada might just be able to take an early point away from the number 2 seed here.
Yeah, this is the best start that Canada could ask for. Actually, Turks, 11-200 compared to Mr. Mu's 13, but ratio
very
favors Mr. Mu by so much.
Very similar ratios from both Canadian players as well, both in the 300 range, whereas Turks with a slightly better ratio than his teammate at 528. The 200 count's also very impressive from the Canadian players, but everyone kind of around the same zone, 11 minimum, 26 maximum, just all a game of that combo and the ratio in that scenario. I think the 200s were not quite the limiting factor on either side. But you mentioned the chord stream being a very significant difference maker between these two in qualifiers. And China definitely probably agreeing with you there and wanting to have a safe first pick here.
And like the worst part about it is, this isn't the only chord stream map as well. China still have another option in Rise 3.
They absolutely do, and if this goes well for China, I can't imagine they're going to avoid Rise 3 for the next time around.
Yeah, but we'll have to see what Canada can do. Dale is now in the lobby.
Yeah, Dale and Turks swapping spots for their positions. Dale still needs to move back to the Canadian side so Turks can play for China again. But once we get that settled out, we'll have a nice little ability to see these two teams going at it at maybe the most accuracy focused map of this pool. You could argue Rice 4, I think, is more accuracy focused, but this is a close second, if anything else.
Really depends on your skill set, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the Jackson Rice 4 definitely could be a little bit awkward. Definitely require a little bit more finger coordination than you might expect from your average everyday chord jack pick. But nothing really to sneeze at as far as accuracy goes from both Rice 4 and Rice 2. Just need to see how these two teams are able to really keep themselves together on this, because I want to say that this is notably easier than the stage 6 from qualifiers. So Canada should maybe have a little bit of an easier time keeping up with this Chinese roster. But that said, the accuracies would ideally translate pretty well from that chord stream pick.
Yeah, currently it's a battle of top and bottom. They're just beating out their counterpart in Dale. And Mr. Mu actually dropping a bit of accuracy as well, so both Chinese counterparts beating out Canada's.
But that's
Satori! Whoa!
Finding a few accuracy drops in the break section, dropping down to the 99.5s and giving Canada about a 2,000 point lead out of the first quarter of this map. But with that out of the way, we'll get into a little bit of a denser section. And if Canada holds on to their accuracy, they should be okay to hold on to this lead. But it seems like the Chinese roster is able to hold on to accuracy just as well. Got to keep that up. And it looks like Mr. Moo might be dropping just a little bit of accuracy, enough to keep that score bar shrinking just a little bit, but keeping it in the side of Canada for now.
Satori is just slowly climbing back up to 99.6, and Turks now up to 99.8. Canada are slowly losing their lead, but it is still a Canadian lead.
It is still a Canadian lead off the back of those mistakes that Satori made in the break. Another little break section.
Satori dropped again.
Yeah, there were a couple of accuracy breaks there. It is now a 3,400 point lead for Canada. This map does get a little bit denser going into the ending, so it could cause some issues, but Canada's in a great position to start this match with an own point and a break point as long as no more mistakes happen. But there's a miss from Dale, and that might just swing the lead over. And it does. China has the lead now off of that singular break as both Chinese players hold on to the full combo. Despite the accuracy drops from Satori, still showing themselves a little bit, not able to climb to that 99.6. Dale's back up to the 400 combo, and it's going to be really close.
Will Canada's
but there's a miss from Mr. Moo. And I think that might just seal it and give China the win, barely on their own pick. Mr. Moo finding a little bit of an issue. Yeah. Maybe the mental stamina catching up to him a little bit. Maybe the density, who knows? But it's just enough for China to take that point.
Oh, they just tripped right. And look at those accuracies! Their ratios are almost the same as well. Oh, man. What could have been?
This Canadian roster, dude, they're just clones of each other.
That's ridiculous. But it is a China point. And it's now back to Canada.
A China point, despite 17,200s from Satori. Showing a little bit of weakness on the accuracy side compared to what we saw from previous performances. But still managing to do enough to take that first point. Gets it, doesn't give any momentum to Canada. But LN2 comes out immediately, the other coordination-esque pick for the Canadian roster.
In terms of release, this is definitely a bit more tame than LN1. But this could be a lot tighter than LN1, like in terms of the score difference between both teams.
I definitely agree. I think maybe underappreciated aspect of this map's difficulty is the length. I found when I was playing this that the length really messed with me because it's a little bit of a slower song. It's 83.5 BPM, has a lot of focus on that release and coordination aspect of your game, and requiring you to focus on that is extremely mentally taxing, especially in 7 key. And I think with how long this is, that's gonna be like even more exemplified there.
We do see Van Wilder coming in.
Yeah, Satori taking a little bit of a break, maybe not feeling as confident after those first two performances. Maybe needs to warm up a little bit more, maybe needs to get the nerves out of their system, but another long note pick coming up that potentially favors Canada given the performances on LN1 that we saw. But like I said, mentally taxing a little bit more so than LN1 here. Longer and more on the coordination side of things for these players. And already we're seeing a break in Nutaba. Not the best start you want to see from Canada, but not the worst place to see a miss. Since it doesn't affect the full combo scoring, didn't get up to the 400 combo, so it's not going to be that big of a deal, especially with the lower accuracy that we're seeing from the Chinese side. Van Wilder having the lowest accuracy in the lobby despite the miss from Nutaba.
Yeah, and Mr. Moo's accuracy 99.87, flickering to 88. And that gives Canada the lead despite the miss at the start.
It absolutely does. Turks and Nutaba having a little bit of a showdown in terms of accuracy. Turks has a little bit of an advantage because of that miss early on from Nutaba, but the real difference here is that massive accuracy difference between Mr. Mu and Van Wild. They're almost a full 0.5% here.
Yeah, but we're only a quarter of the way in. Mr. Mu's accuracy slowly dropping. But Nunotaba has already recovered to tie Turks.
Indeed, they have. Again, I think the slight favor to Turks with the equal accuracy because of the miss, but Van Wilder not able to build that accuracy up after the rough start. Still holding on around that 99.4, and Mr. Mu showing no signs of holding back on this release accuracy. 99.86 is ridiculous on a map like this.
I mean, that could very well be like top 3 scores on this map for the entire round.
Oh, if not like top 1. Like this is up there for sure. If it keeps up, that is. Still have a third of that map left. Still have a lot of mental load to get through. But it is still 2 full combos to 2 full combos. It's all on the... Actually, sorry. This is 2 full combos to 1. Because Nunotaba had the miss early on. It looks like it's 2 to 2 because of the combos. But Canada is behind in combos, but ahead in accuracy. And because of that accuracy advantage, is still holding on to an 8,000 point lead.
Yeah, this is definitely way more tight than Oceanic Museum. Like, China could just snatch it if Canada just dropped once, but we are entering the end. As long as Canada just hold on to the end, this will be a second.
Gets a little denser here, gets a little more difficult to coordinate. Nothing that Mr. Mu can't handle, but as long as...
You said it!
I said it. I said the name.
It's very clean.
It was a very clean drop. Still above 99.7. Still nearly 99.8. And that lead still stays in Canada's side. That's another miss though! Oh my goodness. You cannot give me a heart attack like that.
Oh my god.
4 200s? Wait a minute.
But the 250s, it stains the score. That would have been so legendary without them.
Ugh. You can't do that to me. I have too much stress commentating with you after the one. After the one that happened in Forky, I just can't do it. It's like the last 2 maps have almost felt like, oh, someone's missing right at the end. It's gonna be a 2-point difference. Oh no. Mr. Mu just made that real again for me. And I can't let you do it again.
We still got a lot of this match to go. Canada now up 2-1. Surely it has to be Rice 3, maybe? Canada did put up a really good fight on Rice 2, so I'm a little bit worried.
Yeah, that Rice 2 is really close. I don't know if I would go with AO Infinity. Maybe this is the case where you go with Hybrid 1, which was their Protect. I mean, they protected it for a reason, right?
Yeah. It is an odd Protect, in my opinion. Oh, they're going Rice 6.
I kind of like this pick. I don't mind it.
Okay.
Going for a little bit more of a complex Rice pick, trying to get Canada off their game a little bit.
This one's the mixed Rice, right? Like just a bunch of chord streams, some jacks. It's very
some bursts, just rhythmic changes. It's a lot of varying patterns. I think that's the idea of Rice 6 as a whole that we've seen this tournament. Like the final Rice pick, basically just a mixed pick. It throws a lot of different types of patterns at you without being like as technical as say a Rice 5 would.
Yeah, and we're gonna see the 4th Canadian player come in Harambe. Always nice to see your team make use of everyone.
Yeah, so we've seen all 4 Canadian players now if Harambe stays in. We've seen 3 of the 4 Chinese players with Turks Satori and their long note player that jumped in for long note too. Yeah, Van Wilder. But no Dale for Canada on this pick. Still sticking with Mr. Mu on this. Kind of a surprising choice if I'm thinking about this anyways.
Well, China will be looking to try and tie things again.
Just trying to keep up with Canada. Canada's run out of their coordination LN picks. They've got 2 long note maps left, but both are a little bit more approachable than LN1 and LN2. So as long as China's able to keep up here and get their own point, they'll be in a much better position to start maybe taking a little bit of a lead back. But both teams off to a hot start. Harambe having a little bit of an accuracy issue, down at the 99.3 range, but Mr. Mu definitely holding them back up above both of the Chinese players in terms of accuracy, but that's still not going to be enough. China's going to have a slight lead going into this second quarter.
Yeah, that huge accuracy difference between Harambe and everyone else in the lobby. And this map is relatively short, 2 minutes and 13 seconds. So we're already in a break section.
Yeah, we're in that break section. We're going to be transitioning into a more heavily focused on chord stream with like just a few implied mini janks throughout it, but it's going to be more chord stream focused with a couple of rhythmic changes, and I think that should favor China more, especially without Dale on the Canadian team. But you never know how these things are going to go. We saw Canada really holding on to Rice 2 earlier, so this more accuracy-focused chord stream portion could definitely help Canada out if they're feeling comfortable on it. But Turks catching up to Mr. Mu's accuracy, and Satori absolutely outplaying Harambe in terms of accuracy and holding on to that lead for China here.
Yeah, but what's important is that Canada still hold FC, so if China do drop, that lead can swing back to Canada. But the map is running out of time, and Canada are running out of time to try and take this back.
Oh, but that's a miss on one of the really awkward jack patterns there, and that might just seal it. China getting a nice, convincing point. Probably a nice sight to see if you're a Chinese player, to have a convincing point after a very close Rice 2 pick to start off the match. But that is going to tie it up 2-2, back to Canada's pick.
Yeah, what are these accuracies from Turks and Mr. Mu? What?
Ratio.
My gosh.
This kind of ratio in 7 key is illegal.
Again, I have no idea where Mr. Mu found that 150. But that's incredible accuracy from both players. And it is now going back to Canada, and like you mentioned, the coordination LN picks are all gone. It is just density and mixed. So Canada will have to think a lot more this time round.
I imagine LN4 is coming out here. I don't think there's a better pick for Canada here. It doesn't feel like LN3 comes out, just because that's a little bit more Rice favored as far as like the long note picks go. And they kind of, I would imagine they want to keep with the more coordination type maps. Yeah. And LN4 definitely fits that bill. Yeah, LN4 is coming out for Canada.
We got the O2 gem pick.
This is the O2 jam pick. You are correct about that.
I mean, it is said by yours truly.
I did say that in the map pool showcase that this is the O2 jam pick. And am I wrong is the real question.
Well, Nuno Taba is back in for Canada.
Certainly makes sense. Turks swapping out, Satori staying in, maybe Van Wilder. Van Wilder is back in for this, looking to have a little bit of maybe redemption after that LN2 performance. China looking to get the first breakpoint in this match, but Canada trying to stay as alive as possible, holding it even so far. No breakpoints for anyone so far.
Well, let's get into it. Map number 5.
Another kind of long pick, a little bit shorter than LN2, but still almost at that 3-minute mark. This one also introduces a few pretty interesting pattern types. You get a lot of straightforward patterns, and you get a lot of those O2 jam patterns, but this also has, like, towards the end, it introduces, like, inverse type patterns at a speed that maybe wouldn't be expected at quarterfinals. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some awkward situations, but Nunataba, again, having a little bit of an awkward start, finding a miss just like from LN2, but this time not the cleanest and still building up to get back to the 99%. But Van Wilder also at that low 99, so not too much to catch up to, and the trade from Satori there.
Oh, and both Chinese players drop FCs. Canada now have the lead back, but Nunataba misses again.
We only have one FC left on the board, Mr. Wu. Looking to carry this long no pick. Satori finding another break.
Oh my gosh.
So many breaks already. We're only a quarter of the way through the map. O2 Jam style LN's not treating these players super well. No one getting messed up by that inverse burst there. And everyone kind of holding on now. Everyone above the 400 combo is just about that accuracy. Mr. Moose so far ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
Almost at 99.7 with that FC. Van Wilder slightly behind Nunataba, and Satori behind Mr. Moo. A 10,000 point lead for Canada halfway through this map.
Oh, and a miss
what a rough
on the releases.
That is a rough place to miss. It's just going to extend that lead for Canada here as we get into a little bit of a solo section. No other issues showing themselves yet, but a little bit of a pseudo inverse there. No issues found on that. Let's get into another smaller break section before we get into the final chorus.
Oh my gosh. No one messing up on those inverses. Yeah, Canada have a very comfy lead, 18,000 points. Very reminiscent of the previous Olympic.
Building up a little bit. Satori has a night almost up to that 2,000 combo to match Nunataba. Van Wilder a little bit far behind, but Nunataba does find a combo break. Hearts come in. No one's having any issues with the heart patterns, but that does reduce the lead that Canada has just a slight bit. Nunataba back up to 400 combo with a 12,000 point lead. For Canada, it's going to have to take a little bit of a breakdown from Canada, but it's looking like they might just be able to hold on to their lead here.
Oh my gosh. I'm just getting starstruck at Mr. Moo's performance in this entire match so far, and this map is once again no exception.
Yeah, this dude's just too good. I don't get it. That's a third point for Canada.
Oh my
on
gosh.
The back of a full combo on LN4 from Mr. Moo. And it's back to China's pick, still holding on to the no breakpoints allowed game plan.
This is like this is the most convincing win for Canada so far.
Definitely is. China's going to be able to get a pick. I imagine Rice 3. It's a little bit of a risky pick given how Rice 2 went, but I could definitely see it coming out. I could see Rice 3 or Hybrid 1, their Protect, coming out here. And I think this is where the match starts getting a little bit more interesting, because we're out of control-based LN picks. 8-bit Adventurer, I think, will still come out from Canada coming when the next pick comes around, but it's going to be a little. I think it's going to be a little bit less convincing or confident as far as like the LN picks have gone, because that one is way more comfortable for players who are like feel good with like the Rice aspects of 7 key. But Hybrid 1 comes out, Protect for China comes out, so avoiding the Rice for now and just going into the very mixed Hybrid map. Requires a lot out of these players, swapping from a Rice-focused map to a Hybrid to a long note and all back again in almost a regular cycle. So you need to have players who are capable of literally everything when you have a map like this.
We're kind of jumping all over the pool. This is the first hybrid that will come out. Harambe is now in for Canada, Turks back in for China.
Yeah, I would almost call this like a tiebreaker-esque hybrid, more so than the other two hybrids, because it has such heavily defined like LN and Rice sections separately. And I do think that would favor China's players. We have Harambe in, again, no Dale coming in for this. Also, no Nanataba. That's a little bit of a surprise for me on the hybrid side of things, but maybe Harambe's got what it takes to, lock it down on hybrid 1.
I mean, if Canada do win this, that would be a huge swing in what this match is supposed to be.
We've got the intro coming around. Accuracy favors Canada right now because of a Mr. Moo's advantage, just in the easier section of the song. A little bit of a drop from Harambe in terms of accuracy in the build-up there. It's going to make it a little bit more even before we start getting into the really difficult stuff for this. Hybrid section coming in. Chinese players holding on. Harambe dropping a little bit more accuracy, but this is still very even because of Mr. Moo holding on to that 99.7 still.
Yeah, and here comes the LNs. But we're into Rice again. Canada is... Harambe just dropping so much accuracy, below 99% now. China has the lead because of it.
Yeah, those are long notes. Not treating them well, but Turks with a combo break there. Two full combos to 1 now. It was a pretty clean break from Turks, and it's still keeping this lead very close as Turks tries to build up the 400 combo, but Canada's going to have a foot in the door for this map going into the halfway point.
I am very scared. I wanted to say something about Harambe, but I didn't have to say it anyways. As they drop combo.
So close to getting to the break with that combo too, but that's going to give China the lead going into the second half. We're going to have a little bit of a rehash of what we've seen. Get that build up, get that transition between the different hybrid and long note sections, but Turks!
What? In this relatively easy right
section? No!
Mr. Moo as well! Satori's the only
What's happening? Satori choosing the right time to bring it out. Not the highest accuracy, but holding on to that full combo and keeping that lead for China as we get into the next hybrid section. This is going to transition into another long note section, which we saw Harambe have a little bit of trouble keeping up with here. We'll have to see if it affects them any more in this section, but this lead is still so small. It's still only 5,000 points. Harambe not dropping any accuracy like they did in the first section. Holding on and keeping this lead close. If any more mistakes come from China, you can absolutely see some lead changing happening.
Yeah, but the lead is growing in China's favor because Mr. Moo's accuracy is dropping and Harambe will miss. I think with the time left, China have to completely dismantle themselves.
Yeah, I think China's got this. Good protect, good pick from China to keep some momentum on their side. Harambe falling apart a little bit at this ending, finding another break. Dropping below the 99, and that's going to be a more than 20,000 point lead for China to give them their third point.
That is a monstrous performance from Satori to pop off when they need it, especially with how the map was going in the middle. That was definitely a very strong way to end.
Yeah, strong way to pick themselves up from the beginning of this match where Satori maybe wasn't performing to the level that they wanted to, but it is going to be Canada's pick. We've got 6 own points in a row, no break points. This match going in pretty much the direction I think both teams are maybe not wanting it to go, but making sure that they're keeping themselves honest with their own picks and keeping themselves afloat. But this is where things get interesting. I already mentioned that Hybrid 1 was going to be interesting. I don't know if LN3 is the pick here for Canada.
I mean, okay, at this point, they're really running out of options. I feel LN3 is like the best out of like a graveyard of options.
Yeah, I have 2 picks in mind for Canada. I think LN3 is a solid choice. I think Rice 4 is the next pick from Canada after that.
Rice 4.
That's the Jack pick. If Mr. Moo and Dale can keep up with that, they will have absurd accuracies on it, without question. And I think that would be enough to at least compete with China. I don't think any of the hybrids are safe, and I don't think it's a good idea to go with Rice 3. LN3 is going to be the pick from Canada here, but it's really about what happens after this.
Yeah, I mean, even if China do take this, and China do win their own point, it is still 5-3, which means Canada will still
guaranteed
have a
another pick.
Yeah.
So they still have to pick it. They'll have to get through their maximum number of picks. I think, like I said, I think LN3 is the pick here. They're going to go with this. And then I really don't see an option other than Rice 4. When you're up against a team like China, who have players who are capable of holding on to complex hybrids like Hybrid 2 and Hybrid 3, especially like the ending of Hybrid 3, you don't want to be going into that. And Rice 3 is going to be a toss-up. Even if you feel really confident in it, China is just so good at Chord Stream. I really do think Rice 4 is the next pick from Canada after this.
Yeah, but we'll have to get past this first if Canada are able to capitalize, or if China will break the momentum of this entire match.
Indeed, they're going to have to win this first. I think if they lose this, it's going to be tough to come back. But this is certainly winnable. It's more long notes. We've seen some dominance from Canada on the long note side of things, especially with Nunataba back in. Harambe we saw having a little bit of trouble earlier on, but Nunataba helping bring them to some wins with this density, definitely supporting China in their efforts. We've got two 99.7s here. Mr. Moo trailing just slightly, but Nunataba a little bit behind in the accuracy department.
Yeah, suddenly the tables have turned. Turks holding the highest accuracy, and Satori holding the second highest, just a little bit higher than Mr. Moo.
Just a little. Ooh, but that was an accuracy drop from Satori and a miss from Turks. Two full combos on the side of Canada still. Looks like the lead is going to stay in favor of China just barely because of that accuracy. Surprisingly, despite that section, that was a very clean miss from Turks.
Yeah. And Nunataba tanking accuracy down to 99.3. That is still going to be the lead to China despite the tremor.
Mr. Moo also holding on to accuracy equivalent to Satori and Turks. It's all in the accuracy from Nunataba, but that's still only 2,500 points of lead. Nunataba does find a drop there to trade away the one from Turks earlier. So we've got one full combo, 2-1 as we hit the final quarter of this map, about an 8,000 point lead as we hit. Honestly, I think this is probably the easiest section of the map. But even with that said, it's not easy, and I can definitely see things happening. We do see a little bit of an accuracy drop from Satori.
Yeah.
Down below the 99.5s, but Nunataba also finds a little bit of an accuracy drop. Turks and Mr. Moo matching each other, and I just don't see it coming back.
Yeah, accuracy being the key factor of this one. And China will take the first break point of this match.
That 300 ratio, Turks.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, what is that score?
That's like what, 1-6.
Mr. Moo still with the full combo getting that MVP, but that accuracy from Turks is just absurd. Back to China's pick. They've got kind of the pick of the litter. They could go Rice 3, but I imagine they're going to probably go Hybrid 3. I think Hybrid 3 is the pick here for China. Given how Hybrid 1 went, I would not go for Hybrid 2 in China's situation. It's really short. One miss is going to ruin everything. I think going for a little bit of a longer hybrid, one that's a little more complex and has that kind of same like consistency requirement in the hybrid zone of things in Hybrid 3 is going to be better for them.
Oh my god, they're going Hybrid 2 actually.
I don't like this pick.
Uh-oh.
I really don't like this pick. I think Rice 3 or Hybrid 3 would have been better picks than this. But China they know their own scores.
Yeah,
I've been proven wrong before by these picks, but I just don't agree with it.
I mean, you could also say the same for Canada. Maybe like Canada don't really like this as well as a map, it being so short.
It's so short, 1 minute and 22 seconds. One miss is going to lose you 10,000 points.
We have to see who comes in for Canada. Van Wilder's coming in for China.
That is also an interesting choice. I figured Satori would be in on this, but if maybe Van Wilder is feeling really comfortable. I imagine this is going to be Mr. Moo. Oh, Dale?
Oh, Dale!
I thought Harambe was coming back in, but Dale is an interesting pick here. And Dale certainly not showing the confidence in chat there.
I mean, yeah, like I said, like if with all of the worries on China's side, you could also say the same on Canada's side.
Oh yeah, you absolutely could, but I do worry about this. This feels like the weakest pick that China could have gone. Maybe other than Rice 4. I think I would have been flabbergasted if Rice 4 came out, but this definitely next in line.
I mean, we might see it after this map. But let's get past this 1 minute and 22 second pick.
You also have to understand that this intro for this map is actually difficult to be consistent at the accuracy. Like, you have to read through this. There's a bunch of flams and a bunch of shields that are not easy to get good accuracy on. We're already seeing some drops in accuracy from both teams. Turks and Mr. Moo staying around the same. Van Wilder and Dale staying around the same accuracy right now. Looks like China has a slight lead right now, but not by a whole lot.
Oh, and both Canadian players instantly drop combo. That is really bad, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
How a miss is really bad in this match.
You see that miss. Two misses without even getting up to the combo maximum. Already 13,000 points of difference, and we're already 2/3 of the way through this map. There's not a lot of opportunity to get back in this, though there are a lot of notes left just from this ending. That said, I don't see much changing at this point. It looks like China's very comfortable with this here, and those two misses are just going to let China run away with this point.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about Van Wilder. If they have a huge collapse, something might happen, but at this stage of the map, it might be a bit too late, even if anything happens.
Map's
and
already
that is going
over.
to be match point.
It feels shorter and shorter every time I see it. 8/200s from Mr. Moo, though.
Wow.
Absurd accuracy given the type of map that is, especially with that ratio, but it's just not enough. With the double miss from Canada, it's going to give China another point. Canada does have a pick here. They have their pick of the litter. I've said already, Rice 4 is my expectation. I don't know what else they pick here. I think Hybrid 3 is a bad pick, and I think Rice 3 is a bad pick. Okay, Rice 4. I'm in the heads of Canada. Not quite China, but I've got Canada on lock.
To be fair, whatever Canada has picked so far has been quite, like... I wouldn't say obvious, but it's like, yeah, you get it. But
it's straightforward. Yeah,
like,
no, it makes sense.
Yeah, they're just like
Canada's got maybe the best long note player in the entire tournament. It makes sense for them to go for all 4 long note picks first. And then, like, given the performance from China on the hybrids, you probably want to avoid them, and Chord Stream's not the right path to go. This is the only thing they have left.
And if we know anything about Jack picks...
I don't do this. We're not doing this again. I jinxed it with Japan, where I jinxed it in Japan versus US. I was like, I think this is a great... US is a Rice team. I think this is a great pick for Japan because it's hilarious and accuracy-based. And I said the same thing now about Canada, and I don't want it to happen again.
I mean, what? Japan, US was Asia and America. This one's also Asia
This
continent.
is also
American
Asia and
continent.
America. It's just the opposite way around, where Canada's picking it. The American
Yeah.
is picking it instead of the Asian country. But I can only hope that we don't see another one.
Let's see how this will turn out. It is match point to China, so if Canada do lose this, it is lower bracket for them.
That is true. They won't quite get eliminated, but it is still important for them to keep up in the winners bracket if they can. Getting to semifinals winners bracket guarantees a top 6 finish. So a big potential here could be missed if Canada is not able to perform. But like I said, Dale's got that accuracy. Mr. Moo right behind him. China a little bit behind both Canadian players in terms of accuracy in this intro. We'll have to see how they're able to handle it once the density starts increasing and the long jacks start showing up. No, Dale! So as soon as the density picked up, there's a miss, and that's going to give China a huge lead. But that's a trade!
So back.
So it's going to be one miss to one miss. Their accuracies are so close. Mr. Moo's, I think Mr. Moo's accuracy is higher than Turk's, more so than Satori's is from Dale. Dale's actually ahead. So Canada has the accuracy advantage now. And it's just one full combo to one, so Canada has the advantage.
Boy. This is already spicy. As we enter the halfway point.
Okay, Dale's accuracy is increasing so fast.
Mr. Moo?
Mr. Moo finds a drop as well. Canada's going to take the lead. Turk's the only full combo left on this as we hit the final third of this map. Such a small lead as Mr. Moo tries to build this back up.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Dale's accuracy already on par with Mr. Moo's. But Turk's still holding the FC. That is what?
What is that huge drop? That's a huge drop. Huge lead for Canada here. Final few patterns to go. A little bit of a density increase. Satori with another miss. Unless there's a huge breakdown by Canada, I think they're going to be able to take this point. Yeah, and Satori just getting lost again, dropping a lot of accuracy, and I think that's going to be it. Canada's going to take this point and make China choose between Rice 3 and Hybrid 3 for their last pick in this match. Canada trying to take this the distance.
Dale!
What is that? That's a jack score. That's a jack score if I've ever seen one. 90 ratio and then 0-2-3-1. That's a jack score.
When you have more 50s than anything else apart from the 300s.
Yeah, no, that's a jack score. That's how that works.
I mean, we should have known. We should have known.
Ridiculousness
is bound to happen when they've picked it. And Canada have capitalized on it. We are going to
Hybrid 3. It is. We get the V2. We get another VTuber song. Let's go.
We get the VTuber song. Oh no.
I mean, I think Funds is technically a VTuber song, right? Is it? I don't know anything about this culture. I know this is a VTuber song though.
This is 100% a VTuber song.
I know who Iron Mouse is. But this was an expected pick. I don't think China was ever thinking about Rice 3 after how close Rice 2 was.
I mean, it was good that they got Rice 2 off the way. So that they know that Rice 3 was not going to be an option. But I can't believe, with the seed disparity, we are going pretty much the distance. Bar the pipe.
Yeah. So my guess from this is that the big difference maker in this map is going to be the ending. I think most of the rest of it's going to be really straightforward for both of these teams.
The 200 BPM increase at the end.
That ending is so tough. It's like the patterning also gets real, like, buck wild. It gets crazy at the ending on top of the speed increase. I wouldn't be surprised to see, like, everyone miss at that ending.
I mean,
what is
make or
surprising?
break for Canada, make or tiebreaker for China. Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen any timeouts taken from either of these teams. It's been going kind of fast. 9 points in a row. We've got one more before either China takes the victory or we go to tiebreaker, and no timeouts taken, no breathers needed. These teams just ready to go.
Yeah, it is 2 minutes and 44 seconds of VTuber goodness to determine whether or not it is a China victory or the first tiebreaker of the quarterfinals.
First tiebreaker of the quarterfinals, as if there were other matches that could have beaten this to the tiebreaker.
Yeah. The first match, if it goes to tiebreaker. My gosh.
We've got the opening come out. Dale stays in for this hybrid map.
Yeah.
Maybe this a little bit more comfortable on the long note side than they were expecting. A little bit of an accuracy drop in that intro. Mr. Moo, like they happen for pretty much every map here, holding onto the accuracy lead, staying above China, but China very consistent, both at 99.65 to 99.7 above Dale. There's a miss from Dale right in that pattern, though. That's going to give China a slightly more impressive lead there, building up to probably about 7,000 to 8,000 by the time Dale hits that 400 combo mark. And that's going to be a lead for China, 2 full combos to just 1. Mr. Moo also finding a little bit of an accuracy drop, evening out with the 2 Chinese players.
Yeah, they are still holding the highest accuracy of the lobby as Satori drops accuracy and drops combo, yeah. But I think the lead will shrink, but it won't go to Canada's side yet. Unless more accuracy drops happen from China. And Dale's accuracy is growing, and this lead is shrinking ever so slightly.
This is such a small lead. Satori's above 400 combo now, so lead should stop. Wait.
Wait, Satori dropped accuracy again!
That was another accuracy drop. This is too close.
What is going on?
There's more drops. Oh my goodness, Satori dropping down below 99.4 in that break section. Below Dale with the miss there. Turks with the drop too! Mr. Moo has the only full combo going into this. We're going into the last quarter. Another drop from Turks. It's 6,000 points up, but Dale traces back. We still have the ending left. There's a lot that can happen at this ending.
It is all on Mr. Moo to hold Canada's upper bracket survival together.
China's taking the lead back. Accuracy's helping out. Satori missed. We've got the ending. This is gonna be rough here. What is gonna happen? I'm so stressed out. I can't watch this.
200 BPM. Alright, here we go. Will Mr. Moo break here? If Mr. Moo holds onto the FC, I think Canada can take it. But accuracies are dropping on Dale's side.
It's still holding on for
barely holding on.
No one drops still. Satori drops though. But Dale trades it back. It's still in favor of Canada though. It's shrinking. It's so close. I can't tell who's gonna win this. Oh my goodness! Canada wins! 500 points! 500 points! It's a tiebreaker, Canada! One break point to end it all! Brings it to tiebreaker!
Radical Gingers coming out on the very first match! What on earth?
Oh my goodness, a full combo by Mr. Moo to clutch it out at the end and bring us to tiebreaker. Oh my goodness. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Okay, maybe the commentators need a timeout. Can we?
Yeah, can we call a timeout for the players right now? I need to go to my kitchen and get a glass of water, please.
Oh my gosh.
A tiebreaker right out the gate for our quarterfinals weekend. What a start. Number 2 versus number 7. A little bit of a gap in that winner's bracket seeding challenge, but Canada looks China in the face and says, I'm not scared of you, and just takes them to the limit.
What a crazy match this has been, and we're not done.
I'm so stressed out. I'm so stressed out.
Alright, if we're gonna talk about like the tiebreaker, if we're gonna talk about like qualifier stage 8, China got 2nd, Canada got 9th. I mean we also talk about numbers.
Yeah, I mentioned Hybrid 1 being a pretty like tiebreaker-esque hybrid, right? So
Yeah.
China won that one pretty favorably. I imagine that's going to give them an opportunity. And we finally get a timeout called by one of the teams. Thank you.
Yes.
I needed this.
Moo.
I needed this more than you did, Mr. Moo. Oh my goodness.
I mean, yeah, if we talk about statistics on paper, China should have this. But,
yeah, on paper they should.
Stats can only mean so much.
We said the same thing about Rice too, and that almost went into Canada's favor. So,
well, all the players have left the lobby. I assume they are probably going to
just checking out the map.
Yeah, check the map out in the editor.
This, also worth mentioning, is notably harder than the rest of the map pool. I imagine that should give China a little bit even more of an edge, but with how this has gone, I mean, I'm Mr. Moo finding the resolve to full combo through the ending of Hybrid 3 absolutely absurd. I could see Mr. Moo finding a full combo on this map because of that.
Oh man, if we do see a full combo from this map from someone,
I'm bowing down to them. I don't know. I wouldn't know what to say.
This has already been crazy enough. We've seen like so many crazy scores already. And if we just top it off with a tiebreaker FC, I think that would just be the cherry on top.
Why is it always us? Why are we getting the crazy matches every time?
Yeah. I mean, it's the Asian continent versus the
every time
American continent.
So, it's Asia versus North America, and we got the Asian and North American commentators, and clearly the world wants to like just be poetic for some reason.
It's a puzzle, you know. You gotta like make sure that the commentators align.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. This wouldn't work if it was me and like Sparky. It wouldn't work with two North American commentators. It's just because it's you as an Asian and me as a North American.
I mean, we are getting the players slowly back. It's Tori and Mr. Moo.
Yeah, I mean, I think that squads are like guaranteed. It's Satori and Turks versus Mr. Moo and Dale. I don't think there's any other combination that can happen.
I mean, I'll be very shocked if it was anyone else. But just waiting for Canada's fourth player. I believe the timeout is finished.
And there we go. We got it. We got our 4 players. We got Satori and Turks versus Mr. Moo and Dale, the squads that were meant to face off against each other in this whole match. Clutching it out for Canada on Hybrid 3 versus the Chinese squad taking that break point on LN3. Trying to get that back, trying to just survive in the winner's bracket. Neither of these two teams will be eliminated, but like we mentioned earlier, top 6 guaranteed with a win here. Staying alive in the winner's bracket, getting the ability to lose one match. Invaluable as we get into the first tiebreaker of our quarterfinals weekend.
I would just say whoever has to face the loser of this match, good luck.
Yeah, good luck. I mean, good luck. I don't know what you're gonna do, but it might not be much. You might have a real hard time against whatever team loses this.
And away we go. 4.5 minutes. Radical Ginger by Kobario.
A little bit of a slower start here. All the teams, all 4 players just building up to that 400 combo. No one having too many issues. A couple of accuracy drops. Mr. Moo having that early game accuracy advantage as he has pretty much for every single map in this match so far. A little bit of a sweepy type pattern. Ooh. No combo breaks though. Just a couple of accuracy drops. Turks. But Dale finding a combo break in an early long note. Now matching the accuracy of Turks with the advantage going to the Chinese side because of the combo advantage.
Yeah, and that will probably be the first of many misses we'll see in this lobby. As China are slowly recovering the accuracy.
Indeed, but Mr. Moo holding on to an advantage, trying to keep Canada in this. Still only about 2,000 points, but Dale finds another break. And that's going to increase that lead for China from this tiebreaker as we hit the second quarter. Still 2 full combos for the Chinese side on Mr. Moo. Actually dropping a little bit of accuracy in a couple of those sections. Now matching Satori, but that's a trade back. 1 full combo to 1. Turks versus
that's a big
Mr.
one.
Moo. And actually, yeah, big. Satori with another drop. Now below the accuracy of Dale, Turks and Mr. Moo matching each other. This is an advantage Canada.
Yeah, that lead should go to Canada's side. Yeah, oh my god, it's so small as well.
We still have some pretty major long note sections. Canada been really good at long notes this entire match. They might have a little bit of an opportunity to expand that lead if they're able to hold on. Now,
I'm very worried about Dale, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, oh, but Turks finds a break. Mr. Moo, the only full combo remaining at this point. Canada having a slight lead, but Dale.
Dale
misses back. Gives China the lead, and he finds a little bit of a rush there below the 99% now. Turks holding onto the accuracy similarly to Mr. Moo, and Dale continuing to find breaks on these patterns, and now there's just a huge lead for China. And there goes the last full combo.
Yeah, I was talking about how I was worried about Dale on the L lens, and Dale drops all the way to 98, not even 98 anymore. Under that, Mr. Moo drops as well. That is a 32,000 point lead to China.
This is the most significant lead we've seen all match. 30,000 points of difference as we hit the last third of the map. We've still got a pretty heavy long nut section. It should be a little bit easier to read. Dale should have a little bit of an easier time on this ending section. Plus, it goes into a very dense chord string section. But Dale, finding a break in the drop, dropping the break
section.
And now at the low 98%, needs to find some way to catch up in accuracy if they want to keep themselves in this match. But Turks out-acking Mr. Moo now. It's going to take a lot of breakdown from China, and Dale continuing to find breaks. And it's going to be harder and harder for Canada to come back in this tiebreaker.
Yeah, Dale not having a fun time with these L-Lens as both Canadian players drop. This is just looking like a harder mountain to climb. That mountain just steadily growing bigger and bigger. China just growing that lead to 50,000 points.
And we got more long notes. Satori and Mr. Moo trade. Dale also finds a break, but Turks holding combo through it. Almost at that 3,000 combo now, as we're about to get into that dense chord stream section of the map, where it should favor a little bit of Canada, but China just so far ahead, it would take a massive breakdown from here on out.
Yeah, and Satori trades it with Mr. Moo. Satori does drop again on these very dense bursts. It's just the top 2 on your screens dropping combo. Turks still holding 3.7k combo. And that's pretty much going to be it, actually. The tiebreaker's already almost over and 60,000 points to China's favor.
Indeed it is. And China going to be able to eke out the victory and hold on to their winner's bracket hopes to maybe a closer match than they were expecting, but they are able to get it out, winning it 6-5 against Canada. They will move on in the winner's bracket, give themselves more life in this tournament. Canada, not knocked out of the tournament, will just be knocked into the loser's bracket to face one of the teams currently already there. So both of these teams, an incredible performance. What a match to start off our quarterfinals weekend.
Man, Canada will have to face the... Okay, there's like 4 teams that Canada could face.
There's like Brazil, it's a little more complex than usual.
Brazil, France, Taiwan, or Denmark are the 4 teams that Canada could face. As for China, they could face either Malaysia or Thailand. Which is a... Oh boy.
That's a tough matchup too. I mean, that's our 3 seed versus our 6 seed, and if 2 versus 7 is going to be this close, I'm worried about everything in between. Like, I mean, no joke.
If this is the first match of the round, we have so many matches. We have conditionals.
We do have
and so many more upper bracket matches.
Like, there's still a lot of teams remaining in this tournament. We still have 24 teams alive right now.
Yes, we have a lot that we still have to cover, but with that being said, that will do it for this match out of many that we will see later on. Korea and Australia will be the next one at 10 UTC.
Another winner's bracket match. So we're not going to see anyone eliminated from this tournament until Taiwan versus Denmark, a couple hours after the South Korea versus Australia match coming up. But I'm just speechless from that match. I don't know how much else I have left to say.
I mean, if that match has got you speechless, maybe you could also give them some support by purchasing some banners on the Ost store.
That is a wonderful suggestion. I love purchasing banners off of the Osu store. You get to support your favorite team, any of the 24 teams that are currently in the bracket stage. You can buy a banner for it. It'll be on your profile for forever after, aka until the tournament ends, unless you choose the winner of this tournament. If you manage to predict the correct winner of the Mania 7K World Cup 2024, you will be able to keep your banner until the start of the next World Cup, which is going to be Taiko coming up after 7K. But we're not worried about Taiko. We just want you to have that banner for as long as you want, and we want you to support the tournament and the players here because they're wonderful and we love to support our players.
But yeah, that will do it from us.
It will do it from us. We've got another match in about 5 hours. Like we said, South Korea versus Australia for another Winners Bracket Showdown. We hope to see you guys returning to watch what is hopefully going to be another incredible matchup. We'll see you then.
Yep, we will all see you back here in 5 hours.